Hey, what's up, Kane fans? I hope you're all enjoying your week so far. It's Wednesday night. By the time I drop this, it'll probably be Thursday morning. So by the time you see it, we'll be about 2 days away from probably the biggest game for this program since the 2002 Fiesta Bowl. I think this game has that kind of magnitude. And man, if we can win this game, the ripple effects it can have for this program for the next 5 to 10 years, I think could be huge. I said in my last video that the U is not back yet. But winning games like this, these top 10 matchups on the road, national TV, you can win these games. It could really fast track you to being an elite program again. In the last two matchups obviously haven't fared very well against Clemson. People keep bringing it up that the combined score is like 90-something to 3 in the last two games. If you've been watching this Miami team this year, this Miami team's different. They have leadership. They got veterans, a lot of upperclassmen in that starting lineup, a lot of juniors, a lot of seniors that have been there before. This team will not be rattled and will not be swayed by the moment. They're going to be ready, they're going to be focused, and they're going to be ready to get after it and play some ball. And this, at the very least, is going to be a hard-fought competitive game. I don't see a blowout either way. As far as winning or losing the game, I could see this going either way. But Miami can win this game. I believe they can. And there's 4 keys to the game that I want to touch on that if Miami can do these 4 things, I will feel very confident about them winning this game. The first key, I'm going to start on defense. Defensive line play. This is going to be huge. Obviously, a quarterback, an elite quarterback like Trevor Lawrence, you got to get after him. You got to get him frustrated, get him on his ass, get him throwing incompletions. You gotta get in his head a little bit. Now, he's very mobile. Now, this is going to be a very important thing. Our defensive line is very fast and athletic. I totally see them being able to beat Clemson's O-line, which is a little inexperienced. They're missing some starters from last year. And the number one thing offensive lines need is time together, is games and experience together to be able to gel and learn how to play together. They don't exactly have that this year. And a lot of Clemson fans are concerned about how they looked against Virginia. I don't think they're a bad O-line by any means. They're still Clemson. But I like our defensive line's chances against them. Now, one thing they got to keep in mind is Clemson's very smart. I guarantee you they're game planning right now on how to use our speed and aggressiveness against us. Our defensive linemen have to keep that gap integrity, that lane discipline, and not overshoot, not overrun their target. They need to contain Trevor Lawrence and force him into bad decisions. So that's key number 1 of the defensive line play and discipline on the defensive line. Number 2 is slow down Travis Etienne. Now, I don't think we're going to be able to stop him completely. The guy's the best running back in the country, in my opinion. Kind of like when Dalvin Cook was at FSU. He's probably going to get his. He's going to get his 100 yards, his 110 yards, most likely. But is he going to get the 100 yards on 28 carries, on 30 carries, or is he going to get it on 9 carries? You cannot let this guy gash you for 10 yards, 12 yards a clip. You got to slow him down. If you can keep him to 4 yards a carry or less, then we're in good shape. If we're really swarming and flying around and getting in the backfield and we hold them to 70 yards or 60 yards, even better. Then I really like our chances. The best defenses of the past, they obviously play with speed, play with athleticism, but they know how to swarm to the football. You just see wave after wave of defender getting to that ball carrier, and that's what I want to see. Not just good open field tackling, but I want to see some gang tackling. I want to see all 11 guys getting in on that pile. So that's number 2, slow down Travis Etienne. Number 3, on offense now, tight end play. Now, in past games, if you look at their Clemson's history, the last 5, 6, 7 years, in big games, against really good tight ends, they have given up some big yards. And guess what? Miami's got 2 NFL tight ends. Brevin Jordan, who very likely will be a first rounder this year, and Will Mallory, hopefully he stays an extra year. I see him being a first rounder next year. All right, so you got 2 NFL tight ends, probably the 2 best receivers on our team right now, that can be a matchup nightmare for this Clemson team. They have a little concerns about their safeties, about their linebacker play right now. It's not what it was the last couple of years. We can exploit that matchup. So that's number 3, the tight end play. And last but not least, number 4, start fast on offense. If we get the ball to start the game, great. step on the gas, don't let your foot off the gas, kind of like what we did to Florida State. Obviously, time of possession is going to be important, but getting ahead and staying ahead, I think, is going to be more important than that. Just like I said, like we've done in the last few games, got to keep the tempo high. It's got to be lots of plays, hopefully like in the 80 play range, kind of like what actually Virginia, if I'm not mistaken, I read the stats, they ran like 81 plays. Obviously, they came away with a loss, but they scored 23 points. They had a lot of yards. I think they had more first downs than Clemson did. Completed, I want to say 4 out of 5 fourth down conversions against Clemson, which I had the actual stat in front of me, but I read it just before this, something like that. But my point is, Virginia was able to move the ball against them. They just weren't quite able to punch it into the end zone. Miami's got more talent than Virginia, okay? So believe me, they're watching that tape and they're looking at things that they can exploit. And Clemson, I believe, is very vulnerable to that tempo. All right, so those are my 4 keys to victory. Slowing down Travis Etienne, defensive line play, tight end play, and keeping that tempo high, keeping it fast. And if we can do that, I see us coming away with a victory, or at least this game could be a high-scoring shootout and just a dogfight of a game. And win or lose, I think we're going to gain everybody's respect. Anyways, that's it for me. Check in with you later. It's all about the U. Go Canes.